Hi, today I'm going to do a book review for my controversial book on Where the Wild Things Are. If you can tell, this is in Spanish, and that would be because I went to 3 separate libraries and all of the English versions were checked out. Regardless, I have read this book a million times. Actually, it was one of my favorite books growing up as a kid. I was introduced to it at a library when I was a child, picked it out randomly because I liked the illustrations. And then my mom bought it, I want to say a couple months later. I talked to her recently, and she said she bought it a couple months later because I had loved it so much. I read it a handful of times. The book was originally banned because of the witchcraft and the supernatural beings that Max is daydreaming of or dreaming of. But the child, Max, is sent to his room because he's having a bad day. He's struggling with his behavior, and then he kind of goes into this trance of this magical land where there are these supernatural monsters, the supernatural beings that he ends up being the king of. I don't know if I understand the ban, but those were different times. I believe that in maybe private schools or religious-based schools, this might be a harder conversation to have in the classroom. But no matter what, I would absolutely love to have this book and read this book to the kids in my classroom. As you can see, the illustration, it actually won a Caldecott Award, so the illustrations are awesome. Originally why I had picked out the book as a child. But I think the biggest thing is that I would explain to my students is that we all have bad days. There are times when it's harder to control our behavior because we're just reacting. And it's important to take time and to realize that you're feeling a certain way. Take time away from that situation, breathe, daydream, take a nap, whatever it may be. But in Max's case, he did that. I mean, he was sent to his room. But when he got there, he made up this imaginative land that made him happy. I don't find the monsters scary at all. Of course, maybe I was just a different child. I can explain to the kids, these are friendly monsters. I wouldn't want to say monsters, but just explaining to them that there's nothing to be scared of. I think it's more encouraging of the kids, again, to understand that each child has bad days, and it's important to take time out of their day when they feel certain ways to kind of relax and find a happy place. I would consistently recommend this book for any classroom.